victory day in South Florida. It is a packed house at American Airlines Arena. 19,000 making their way in as we get ready for Game 5 of this best-of-7 opening round series. The Philadelphia 76ers taking on the Miami Heat. Miami looking to close it out and move on to the conference semifinals to go against the Boston Celtics. The Sixers hoping to extend to a Game 6 Friday night back in Philly. Hi, everybody. I'm Marv Albert along with Steve Kerr. We'll be joined in a moment by Craig Sager, who's working the sidelines. Steve, what do you foresee as the keys for tonight?
Well, one of the themes in this series, Marv, is slow starts for Miami. They've got to set the tone here early and let Philly know what's going on. The free throw attempt is so important for the Sixers. When they can stay close, they've got a chance. If Miami dominates there, they can set up their defense at the other end, and then it's a problem. And Philadelphia in the fourth quarter. I mean, all these games have been close, all four of them. In Game 4, they found a way to score and close the game out. Can they do that here in Miami? That's a tall order.
All right, let's check out the starting lineups. For Philadelphia, Elton Brand has played well the last two games. Drew Holiday has been solid, had that big Game 3. There have been questions posed to Miami head coach Eric Spoelstra concerning changing his starting lineup because Miami, as you mentioned, Steve, has been getting off to slow starts, but they remain the same with the big three plus Zydrunas Ilgauskas and Mike Bibby. Doug Collins taking no chances coming off the emotional win in Game 4 Sunday in Philadelphia. Originally had given his team a day off from practice, brought the team in on Monday, did not want the Sixers to bask in the victory. He wanted to make, and bask was his word, Steve. He wanted to make certain his guys were grounded and ready for tonight.
Well, what a great win for that team and this organization on Sunday. You know, they've had a nice season, really laying a foundation for the future. But when you get swept in the first round, you go home, there's a bad feeling in your mouth. I think it was so important for this young club and these young players like Drew Holiday to feel the victory in the playoffs against a great Miami team. It's just going to give them confidence. Regardless of what happens tonight, it fuels them this summer and heading into next season.
The officiating crew headed by Steve Javie, working with Bennett Salvatore and Tony Brothers. Miami controlling the opening tip. LeBron James kicks it out. They'd like to get Mike Bibby involved. Bibby not able to hit the three, and he shot 44% from downtown during the regular season. And a tie-up, so they'll jump it up. And James was looking in the corner for Bibby, and now the call was changed. They say traveling violation.
I think that was a good call. LeBron left his feet, was going to make a pass, and at the last second changed his mind. There wasn't enough of a tie-up to call a jump ball, so nice job of officiating.
Drew Holiday, played by Dwayne Wade. Here's Elton Brand. Jody Meeks for three. Jody Meeks, second-year player out of Kentucky, a second-round pick originally of Milwaukee, but last year, back in February, traded to Philly. And he is an instant offense type guy, and looking ahead, the Sixers know that they will have vastly improved when a player like Jody Meeks is coming off the bench.
Yeah, he's not really a starter, but he is for this club this year because of his ability to space the floor. This is not a great shooting team, but Meeks can really give you a long-range presence. He can space the floor, and he complements this club well, but eventually they look at him as a reserve-type player.
Well, there's Meeks again. A Philadelphia team that went 41-41 during the regular season. One of the surprises of the NBA, dramatic turn from last year's 27 wins. They finished as a number 7 seed, so they drew the Miami Heat. Players buying into Doug Collins' philosophy as Chris Bosh was set up, with Doug using 9 to 10 men rotations, everyone playing high energy, not being concerned as to who takes more shots. And defensive intensity, and we see some defensive intensity there from Dwayne Wade.
We've seen a lot of defense from both of these teams throughout this series. It's been a struggle to score for both clubs.
Oh, Ilgauskas able to keep it alive, and that won't count. Offensive interference called as he tried to tip home his own miss.
Remember in Game 3, Marv, we were there in Philadelphia. Ilgauskas had 8 offensive rebounds, and even though Erik Spoelstra has acknowledged that this starting unit does not have great energy, Ilgauskas gives them an amazing force on the offensive glass. He's just so tall, and he takes advantage of the penetration from Wade and James to find openings.
Elton Brand, he thought it was fouled as he heads up court. Makes that point to Tony Brothers.
You know, I think one of the reasons Elton Brand has had a bounce-back year after that tough season a year ago, Marv, is that the Sixers traded Samuel Dalembert, which really opened the floor up for Brand, as Bibby can't get the jumper to go. But you put Spencer Hawes next to Elton Brand, and Hawes can stretch the floor and knock down a jump shot. It gives Elton Brand a lot more room to roll.
Iguodala twisting his way, the pass broken up. Wade went for the steal. Holiday picked off. James with the leak out, and it's intercepted as Holiday looked like a defensive back.
That's right.
Rotating into the Miami front court. 3 minutes gone by, just underway here in Game 5 as Brand is able to hit that baseline jump.
The other thing Brand has given this club is that veteran presence. I mean, he hasn't played in a whole lot of playoff games, but he's been in the NBA a long time. He kind of gives this team a confidence that they can count on down the stretch.
So once again, Miami has started out slowly. They have trailed in 3 of the first 4 games of the series. James has a 4-shot with the clock running down. Sixers now lead at 9-4.
Well, we asked Erik Spoelstra before the game, are there any changes strategically to try to get you guys off to a quicker start? He said, our stars have to be more aggressive. He said, Wade and LeBron have always tried to get a feel. Whoa, what a play from Iguodala on the feed from Holiday. Spoelstra wants his stars to be aggressive here early. They've spent a lot of this season kind of setting things up, getting a feel for the game, but he doesn't want that tonight.
And Dwayne Wade says our starting lineup is not the most energetic. Nice pass work. Bosch is stopped by Hawes. Shot clock to 6. Bosch off the spin, way off, and deflected out. Last touch by the Sixers.
And when you see that energetic comment, you see the first quarter slump. I mean, look at the shooting percentage. When you hear them use that word energetic, that's kind of code for Bibby and Ilgauskas are a little older. And eventually they're going to get their best lineup in, as LeBron really needed to shoot that ball. There's 3 seconds on the shot clock. He put Bibby in a tough spot, but eventually they'll get Joel Anthony and Mario Chalmers out there. That's their speed and quickness lineup. That's their best defensive lineup as well.
They have been the most effective when Anthony, particularly at the defensive end, is so active. And Chalmers around the floor. Nice pass. Brand. Philadelphia off to a terrific start. They lead at 13-4. They've hit 6 of their first 7, and a technical foul has just been called.
Yeah, Chris Bosh, for tossing the ball over the backcourt after that timeout, was called frustration from Bosh.
Off to a fast start once again, and right here we'll check in with Craig Sager. Craig.
Well, after this morning's shoot-around, LeBron James comments about the game tonight. We're just finishing off breakfast. I asked LeBron if that meant that the Boston Celtics were lunch, and he said yes, and the conference finals are dinner, and then the NBA championship is dessert. But apparently it didn't set well in the Philadelphia locker room. Lou Williams went around and came up with a Sixers breakfast menu. He is flapjacks, holiday French toast, Daniel's Texas toast, Young hash browns, Hawes is over easy, Spade's fruit salad, and Brand is a hard-boiled egg. So LeBron's looking forward to finishing off his lunch.
Too much information. Yeah. But, yeah, I would think that would not go over well in the Sixer locker room. You saw Meeks hit the free throw. The technical foul was called on Bosch as we were headed to break, and Philadelphia now has a 14-4 lead. Defensive 3-second violation against the Sixers.
Well, here was the technical following that Miami timeout. There's the play from Brand. Watch Bosch. Timeout's called, and he just throws the ball against the backboard. That's an automatic technical, the way the rules are called these days. And Marv, interesting point. Doug Collins mentioned it to us in our meeting. This is now the 4th game out of 5 in this series where Miami has called the first timeout, and it's because of the pressure that the Sixers have put on them in the first quarter. And I know he's really happy about that, just the way they've come out with a lot of aggressiveness and confidence.
Here's James for 3. Nice box out by Brand, and Holiday moves across. Hawes returns. Nice play. Meeks taking from Hawes.
Well, you see how skilled Hawes is as a big man. I mean, that's the second beautiful pass he's made in this game. And what a luxury to be able to run your offense through a postman who can pass the ball like that.
Sixers look to trap Wade. Chalmers is checked in along with Anthony, so Eric Spoelstra making the early moves. Chalmers open for 3. Mario Chalmers from downtown. Miami did not shoot the 3 effectively in game number 5.
Well, you see how
4, I should say.
You see how quickly Eric Spoelstra went to his second unit, or at least to Chalmers and Anthony. He said he would not hesitate to do that. Didn't want to change the starting lineup. I mean, after all, they were a minute away from a sweep. Didn't want to panic as Brand knocks down the jumper. But you can tell. I mean, this is their best lineup. And what will be interesting, Marv, is if they're able to move on as expected. Now, will Spoelstra stay with that same lineup of Bibby and Ilgauskas to start games?
Here's Chalmers again with room for 3. That time way too strong, and a loose ball foul on Elton Brand. Brand has opened up by hitting his first 4 shots. The 76ers on fire, 8 of 9 from the field.
They're kind of playing with house money right now. You know, they've got nothing to lose. They're not supposed to win this game. They're not even supposed to be here. But they got some confidence winning game 4, and they're having fun. You can tell they're just enjoying this.
Chris Bosch able to drill it. And Doug Collins very proud of the fact that that's exactly what his players have said. They've never had so much fun playing basketball as this season after starting out at 3-13. They win 7 of 9. They're able to turn things around, finish at the 500 mark. Nicely done. Open shot for Chalmers. This time could not hit. Here comes Iguodala. Holiday on the fast break. Holiday with the bucket.
Wow, you see how fast this team is with Iguodala pushing it. And what a finish from Holiday.
Wade setting it up. Chalmers turning down the shot twice on this sequence. Holiday diving for it. And the ball is deflected out of bounds. Sixers are pumped up.
They are. Look at Doug Collins. He loves it. He has injected his team with life and energy. And this is what Philadelphia likes to do, Marv. They want to make stops. They're good defensively. And once they do, they're so fast. And because they're not a great shooting team, they'd much rather score in transition.
Bosch got the step. Anthony. Anthony is fouled. Hit by the combination of Brand and Holiday. They were not going to allow the dunk. Iguodala also involved, and the foul is on Iguodala. That is his second. So Joel Anthony to the line, only a 64% free throw shooter out of UNLV by way of Montreal, Canada, member of the Canadian national team, signed with Miami 4 years ago as a summer league practice fill-in.
And you hear the crowd in the background during that first free throw chanting MVP. It's become kind of a joke, but also a sign of affection for this guy. This crowd loves him. They love his energy, his defensive intensity, and perfect fit, really, next to all these scorers. He's a guy who guards pick and rolls and blocks shots. Great footwork and speed defensively.
Here's Meeks with no hesitation from downtown. Evan Turner, the rookie from Ohio State, who has played well in this his first ever playoff series, has come on. They continue to leave Chalmers open. He's turned down several three-point opportunities. Wade kicks it back. Now Chalmers shoots for three and hits. Mario Chalmers with his second from downtown.
It tells you a little bit about his mentality. He made one, missed two. Meeks with the miss, but Chalmers